They've been told not to go near the lobby. The boy you're doing the story on? I say, out of breath from my little sprint. I think we've got a relative of his downstairs. She walks down with me, and I fill her in. When we get to the first floor, she walks out before I can stop her. "Sir?" she says to the guard, who turns toward her, still waving his big-ass gun. "You're here about Artesian?" I dive and knock her to the ground. And the commotion? Rita Dominic finally does something smart and puts great distance between her and the guard just as the cops make their move. They wrestle the man to the ground. His gun, a .45, goes skittering across the marble floor, stopping beside the spot where I have Sarah pinned. "Have you lost your fucking mind?" Sarah inquires as I roll off her. I ask her the same question, then help her up and explain that I like her better without a big hole in the middle of her chest. "Like being on the floor would have made it harder for him to shoot me?" "Well," I explain, "that's how they do it on TV. They have the guy handcuffed, so it seems like a good time to step up to the plate. They also find out that the gun is not loaded." "Excuse me," I say as I try to get near him. One of Richmond's finest tells me to step back, but I get the guard's attention. "You were asking about Artesian. Artesian coal?" The guy just glares at me. He's being hauled away when he starts talking. "You all don't care nothing about Artesian," the guard says. He's in tears. "He been missing a week, and you all ain't wrote diddly about him. I asked that reporter, the one that did the story on him being missing, and he hung up on me." "Yeah, that would be Bear. Mark Bear did the original story, 6 days ago, about the boy going missing. It was B1 for a day, and then disappeared as the cops failed to make any headway in Artesian Cole's disappearance. Sarah's been assigned to do some kind of follow, but obviously nothing's been written yet. Hence the little performance this afternoon. Hell, it was the East End. Kids disappear on the poor side of town. Shit happens. Families there usually don't have the clout to get the publisher's attention. Sometimes it takes a gun. Bear is not famous for treating callers with respect. Trouble with that is, if you blow people off enough, one of them will get a lethal weapon and try to teach you some manners, which is what Shorty Cole, who turns out to be the missing boy's uncle, did today. And, as in this case, they hardly ever go after the right person. While many of us, in the last year, have fantasized about Rita Dominic's demise, it hardly seems fair that our new publisher almost earned a toe tag because of Mark Bear's dickishness. Now that the newsroom people are free to come down, 24 or so filter in to find out what they missed. It's 3 o'clock. This whole thing took maybe 20 minutes. Seemed a lot longer. I'm surprised that the rest of the staff didn't come down. And then I realize that this is the staff, or the part of it that's still here on Friday afternoon. Maybe 10 years ago, we'd have put a reporter on the case of a missing 10-year-old black kid from Gilpin Court. Maybe. Our publisher, looking like the events of the recent past have drained all the tanning salon glow off her, walks up to me. She's standing beside me, looking off into the distance. "That was pretty gutsy," she says, quiet enough that no one else hears her, jumping in there to try to save Sarah. She pauses. "What I want to know is, were you just going to let him shoot me?" I hesitate. "Well, the gun wasn't loaded." "Don't worry," she says. "I don't hold it against you. I hold a lot against you, but not that. One of these days, I'm going to get my ass killed by not knowing when to back down." We've had our ups and downs, Miss Dominic and I. She would have fired me last year for disobedience if I hadn't pulled a trump card and maybe entertained our readers for a few days with my 2 first-person account of the demise of a serial killer. She'd probably pop a bottle of champagne if she could get rid of me without hurting the product, which is what she calls our once proud newspaper. Put it this way, I haven't built up a lot of goodwill points with our publisher, but I do respect her for facing down a guy with a gun. She's got balls. Sarah comes over, now that the drama has washed over her. "Thank you. I'm an asshole," she says. I tell her not to talk dirty. "Maybe I can find a way to show my gratitude for your chivalrous gesture," she says, either a smile or a smirk trying to break through.